friends, and welcome into Episode 5 of Vol Club Confidential. Tonight, our special guest will be Byron Young. He's got a great story as he has come a long way from those days at Georgia Military College, and before that, working as an assistant manager at the Dollar General store with no football on the horizon, to now being a potential NFL draft pick in just a few months. But before we talk to Byron, we will talk with Brandon Spurlock of Spire Sports. And Brandon, when you look at this time of year, it's going to be the wild, wild west with this transfer portal. You've seen numerous kids go in already this week. There's going to be a lot of kids going in over the next 2 weeks during that window. How wild is it for you all right now? Because, kids are trying to figure out NIL deals left and right and, kind of get the lay of the land.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect time for your team to be 10-2. What a great time for us to have the success we've had this year. And then, all the work we've been doing this year, at Spire and with the volunteer club and our volunteer legacy, the membership growth that we've had and the deals that we've delivered to our current players, using that to really attract and make sure it speaks to anyone that's potentially considering Tennessee as part of the package. Knoxville, the fan base, the wins, the tradition, all those things kind of stand on their own. And now, this NIL piece of it is a major part of that conversation. And we hope that the work we've done is a very positive part of that conversation.
When you talk to the current team and they're trying to figure out their NIL value, what are the things you all are stressing to them that they have to be active out there? Because I think a lot of kids, just think, hey, it's a salary, but it's not. It's a marketing deal, for your name, image, and likeness. So what are you guys educating them on as far as, hey, this is how you can improve your name, image, and likeness?
Yeah, I think the relationship with Tennessee that's really expanded here in the last 3 weeks, given the NCAA guidance that's come out, allows us to do that better both now and in the future in terms of the education piece of it. A lot of it is what we've been through the last year, learning that, the marketing deals themselves maybe weren't there on the front end. And so the fundraising part of it had to come in and kind of bridge the gap to where, the businesses in town and across the nation really start to see the value in, the mitigating the risk of, maybe an unknown player that's 17, 18 years old and putting your brand with that player and seeing, I think some of the, the success that some of our players have had in delivering on that part of it has helped grow the brand. And so you're educating the player on, this is not about what you're doing on the field. Maybe we get to that one day, but it's about something above and beyond. And so you have to show up, beyond the practice and beyond the games, and you have to do something, whether it's being a part of this podcast or, showing up at a different place in town. So it's just making sure they understand that, and then also mitigating, the expectations that players have. There's different, websites and different things out there that are kind of influencing the dollars they have in their minds. And so, trying to have a conversation, build trust, and that happens over time. And so
it's a thrill a minute right now. The transfer portal for those guys at Spire, when it comes to the collective world, and for people like me who are trying to cover the transfer portal, the comings, the goings, all of that. We'll catch up with you next week. Now let's turn our attention to the man of the hour, that being number 6 in orange, Byron Young. A lot of people know the story of Byron Young, working at a Dollar General store, saw a flyer for football at Georgia Military College, and the rest is history. You kind of went to work and put your nose down and kind of took a shot on your dream. A couple years later, having played a couple of years here at Tennessee, what's that dream been like?
If I may say, it's been amazing, just, living out my dream, everything I, dreamed about as a kid, is coming true, just thankful and blessed.
So when you're working there at the Dollar General store and you see the flyer, kind of take me through your thought process. Were you just kind of like, we'll give it one more shot? You'd kind of given up football at that point, right?
Yeah. Just working at a job in Dollar General, just, wanting better for myself. And, just seeing a flyer, I'm just saying, what the worst that could happen. I want to get in school anyway, either way, just playing football or, just going to school. I wanted, to finish and get my degree. So, I just felt like, what can I lose? So, just went out there and did what I did.
How did you juggle that time? Because, you're working as assistant manager, at the Dollar General store, and then, playing football at GMC. Like, how hard was that to juggle?
Starting off, she was, giving me some time off, and then I was coming back working, stuff like that. Then, she finally told me that, I couldn't do both. So at the moment I had to, stop working at Dollar General. Then I started working at this gas station called Circle K while I was playing football in classes. And that was pretty rough. It was, I got out of practice and, go straight to work, or my class was kind of online, or there was no certain days. So I'll probably, work a third shift, then sleep during the day, then go to practice and, go from there,
I think the first time I ever interviewed you, you were at the Circle K in your shift. Yeah. And, at that point, it's Tennessee, Auburn. That's kind of the top two teams for you. You really liked Auburn a lot, but then they had a coaching change before Coach Pruitt got let go.
Yes, sir.
And how did that kind of affect you? How did that affect kind of what you were thinking at the time?
It affected a lot, to be honest. Just talking to Coach G, during the whole recruiting process, I really liked him. I was ready to play for him, and his resume speaks for itself. So, I was ready to really, go there. And I live in Columbus, Georgia now, so that's 45 minutes outside of, right down the road. So I'm thinking, this is a no-brainer, Then, like a week before it happened, the coaching changed. So, Tennessee was the, really the next up, so I just, committed there. Then, this coaching change happened. So, I'm just back to square one, just thinking like, I made the right decision, just going through it and just thinking, then heard Coach G might be coming back around. And, I feel like that was a blessing. Just, everything happens for a reason. So I feel like this was my blessing.
How excited were you when you heard that Coach Garner could be coming to Tennessee, having signed with Tennessee in December, and then the coaching change happens, the uncertainty there, to have the guy that you wanted to play for the most come to coach you? How big was that?
It was very big. And, what really helped it was knowing Coach Heupel. I knew him at UCF. And, he was recruiting me there, and we already built a relationship a little bit. And when he came, he remembered me. So it made me feel more welcome because he didn't forget about me. He remembered who I was. And Coach G just came, it was just perfect. So, I feel like I was home.
How much do you feel like you have grown as a player? I mean, I still feel like you've not played a ton of football.
Yeah.
And so I think your best football is still ahead of you.
Yes, sir.
Do you kind of feel that way? And is that what the coaches tell you? Like, do you still find yourself like picking up things in practice that maybe you didn't a year ago?
Oh, yes, sir. Most definitely. Like I was telling Coach the other day, he was talking about, I'm an older guy, but I don't have that much mileage on me. I didn't play that much, as in, I sat out for a little bit. So, yeah, every day I learned something new, definitely, with Coach G, since he got here. I mean, this is who I am. He the one that made me, and he got me where I'm at right now. So, just thankful.
What's he say that you do well, and where does he still push you to try to improve at?
He loved my momentum and everything I do, just my mindset. And he pushed me to always try and get better with my technique, always getting off the ball. Those are the main two things. And, he talked to me every day. He said, don't never get tired of doing the right thing and, work on my craft.
If you could kind of draw out a map for the last 2 years on, how it's went for you, how would you describe it? What's been the best part about playing here, and what's the whole experience been like?
I said the best part about playing here, just, my teammates and being with, my team is just, it's a family, with Coach Heupel and, all the coaches, the way they, just how they treat us. And it just made me love this school much more, even though I'm about to leave. And that's the hardest part is, leaving my brothers and everything. And I feel like forever I'm going to have is a bond, with my brothers. And I feel like I'm never going to forget these moments.
You're an older guy compared to some of these guys, kind of like Hendon, about the same age. But you got these 18, 19-year-olds, guy like Josh Josephs, James Pierce. How do you try to impart wisdom on those players? That way, when you're gone, they kind of take that step forward to kind of fill your role.
I just tell them every day, take advantage. I tell them they're blessed. I would tell them one of the day that they're really blessed to be at their age and, at this high level and playing, just tell them I came out of high school. It just, got pushed into the real world, didn't have no offers and stuff like that. So I was telling them, you got this opportunity, take advantage of it. Don't take it for granted. And, they listen, so it's not hard for me to just, talk to them. They trying to learn every day and trying to be the best player they could be.
10-2 this year. Best season since 2003. You were like 4 at that point. What's that meant to you? And how cool is it to kind of see where the program was when you got here and where it is right now?
It's cool. This is why I came here. I'm not going to lie to you. Everyone was asking, before the season when I got here, 3-7, they was like, why would you go there? And I told them because I seen an opportunity. I seen an opportunity for me to help this team, and us get better. And, I just seen, the coaching and everything. And, after last year, us going 7-6 and 9 this year, just making a statement. And it's really amazing. And we couldn't do it without, the bond we have with each other.
Number 6, where's that come from?
Where that came from?
Yeah. Was that just the number Hawk gave you, or does that got some meaning behind it?
They gave me number 13. And I always, loved this single-digit number and things like that. But, it's not really a big meaning behind 6, I just like a single-digit number. But I really, like 13 because I'm the 13th child. But I just, really want a single digit, so I got that.
Well, since you went there, I'll go there next.
Yeah.
You are the youngest of 13 children. Oldest 47, you say?
Yes, sir.
What's that like when you get together for family reunions, Christmas, Thanksgiving, those type of things, and being the youngest, what's that feeling like?
It's amazing. Every Christmas we get together on Pawleys Island in South Carolina. We get about a few beach houses and we celebrate Christmas down there, and just all the siblings come together and my mom and dad and stuff like that. And just being the youngest, everyone just looking out to you, and everyone care about you so much, and you're the baby of the family. So
Are you the spoiled?
you got everyone just looking after you, so you could say spoiled, but I'm grateful for them. Just my process and the support, when a lot of people, wasn't there for me at JUCO, because that's when you're really alone. When you're at JUCO, they was there, they supported me and kept me motivated. And now, I'm here and nothing changed, so yeah.
How many brothers, how many sisters?
I got 8 brothers and 4 sisters.
Do you gravitate towards the 8 brothers or the 4 sisters?
The 8 brothers.
Biggest life lesson you've learned from your siblings is what?
A lot of them didn't have the opportunity I had, and just, they had to make choices just for the family. So, they always tell me when I was growing up, everything we're going to do, we're going to try to do everything we can to, let you have the life that we didn't have. And they said, just go for your dreams and, be good at it.
You're a South Carolina kid. Big on the seafood?
I'm okay with fish, if you call that seafood.
Yeah.
That's probably really the only thing I really was growing up eating, a lot of fish, but I'm not big on seafood like that.
Steaks then?
Oh, steaks,
Meat and potato guy?
Yeah, potato, rice, beans mostly.
Graduate high school, you're like a little over 210 pounds. You're now almost 250.
Yes,
Is that peanut butter shakes? What's that diet consist of?
A lot of shakes. I drink maybe 3 shakes a day. It's really the shakes, eating 3 full meals a day, and being consistent with my workouts. So,
could get the opportunity to partake in the Senior Bowl. Mm-hmm. What would that mean to you, just because of all the lineage there?
It would mean a lot. That's something that, growing up, I feel like that's the best of the best. That's where you showcase your talent, and, that's an opportunity and something I would, cherish, and I would love to have.
What's Tennessee football mean to you now compared to 5 years ago when you weren't even thinking about it, and then 2 years ago when you got here?
It means so much. I'm not going to lie to you. Just thinking back on when I first got here in the spring and how hard it was, and, the fans just being there for you all the time, and, coaches not giving up on me. My teammates, when I first got here, struggling really bad in the spring, and they had my back. And, it just means so much for me. Like, it's literally a family.
When you talk about family, who on this team have you really jived with? Like 6 years from now, 7 years from now, 10 years from now, who you picking up on the phone and calling to tell them you just had your first kid or you got married or whatever?
Big old Tyler, for sure. When I first got here, man, Tyler, it took care of me, man. Like, I was struggling, stressing out, losing my confidence, Coach G getting on you. So I'm like, man. So he right there along the way, the whole time. And Big O, basically, my best friend,
He's the mayor.
Yeah. Me and him went to Africa together and stuff like that. He real cool, man. Like, talking about anything. But both of them guys, man, just, helping me, be the best person I could be. And, I'm truly blessed to have them in my corner.
You had that opportunity to go do that with Vol Leaders. I think it was
oh, yeah. Cooper went too.
Cooper went too,
oh,
yeah. What was that experience like? Not because it wasn't just the 3 of you. It was basketball players.
Oh yeah,
women athletes. Female athletes. I mean, it was a big party from Tennessee.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. Just going out there and making a difference, helping kids out, using our ability to help kids, be a better version of themselves and teaching them things and, them teaching us a lot of stuff. And I'm just grateful I could have, be a part of that.
Best recruiting story.
Well, I thought it was funny. Coach G, he was recruiting me, right? And
at Auburn.
Yeah, he was recruiting me at Auburn, and he dug deep and went to my family, some cousins I didn't know I had, and literally some cousins I did not know I had, and went to talk to them. They called me, and I'm like,
Like, who are you?
They used to play in the league, and I did not know that. And he used to coach them at Georgia.
Oh.
And I knew them, but I did not know, Coach said, yeah, I know, what I'm saying? I know it's a few things. So that was really, kind of funny to me, just how that happened, And I just, that's something that I just knew he really cared. And, that showed me right then.
You got your best Rodney Garner impersonation? This is where you get a chance to flash a little personality, Byron.
We used to laugh at it, but it's the truth. He just always used to say 3 things that don't lie: the mirror, the Bible, and film. And it usually happens. He says in the meeting room when it's a really bad play, and you try to explain it.
But you can't do the impersonation of him saying it, though.
Oh, of him saying it? Oh, no, I can't. It's really funny though. Like that's the thing, but I actually can't. I can't say it. No.
Byron. I hear call Brent Hubbs about Hubs, that bellowing voice out there on the practice field.
Yeah, yeah.
When you get a attaboy from him, does it mean a little more? Because coaches you got so hard.
Yeah.
When he tells you you've done a good job, does it carry more weight?
It does. He'll get on you so hard, and you just you're like you feel like you're doing the right thing, and you just feel like you're not getting better. Then I say a month later, it's not gonna happen. Like if you think you about to give you a compliment right now, no, it's gonna happen like months later. So, like with me, he just gave me one the other day. It felt really good. He, just talking about me and just expressing how proud he is. Of me telling the teammates, and he was like, I'm not just trying to brag on Byron. And I'm just sitting there, proud of myself because I feel like I really wasn't improving like that just because. You would think you're not because the coaches be on you so hard for you to do better. And he just like, Byron came a long way. He came here, he bought in, and, I'm proud of him. Now, he going to go a long way.
Was it easy to buy in knowing where you had been?
It was easy to, I say, do everything I was supposed to do. Like, be there, be the places I was supposed to be the meetings on time. It was easy to do that. But, like, as in, like, football-wise, just on the field, it was harder because it was new. And, like when you always getting, cursed out or something like that, or, ground on the whole time, about, your technique, and you feel like you're not getting better, it'd be kind of hard to just have confidence and just remember, it takes time. So, starting off in spring was really hard. Like actually it was probably the hardest, I'm not gonna lie, just, everything, but, I got through it. And
the first 2 games of last season, you were suspended because you went to this JUCO that was defunct, and it was some silly NCAA rule, and they had to appeal, and basically it was said, okay, you got to set 2 games. How hard was that? Because you talk about the spring being hard. I can't imagine getting to the first game and finding out, no, I'm sorry, you got to.
It was the hardest because I had probably the best camp. Like that was probably the perfect camp and so good. Like I'm doing everything right, coach not getting on me like that, then I'm ready to play. Like they told me, Coach G called me, it was like a week before the game. So, come in my office, I knew something coming, right? Talked to me and told me, I left out and just I was hurt, Honestly, probably didn't eat that much, till I got playing. Like I really was actually kind of depressed about that. Like I was so ready to play, and I felt like I wasn't gonna stuff on the field again. Like I felt like they was gonna hold me for the whole season. So I didn't know what to expect, and it was really heartbreaking. Just was a hard time for me.
I mean, you can tell you're kind of emotional about it now, just thinking back on it.
Yeah, it was really hard. My parents, trying to talk to me. They were trying to uplift me and just tell me because they know everything I've been through and how hard I was working.
You finally get to that first game.
Yeah.
What's the emotions like then? Then are you so amped up? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the complete opposite.
It was like both. I was so happy to be on the field. I didn't care about nothing else that day. I just, so happy. Coach G just made it so important that, letting them know that's an opportunity. Like, he told me, I remember he just letting me know, said, Byron, this is your opportunity. And I just got on the field and I just was happy to play. Like I was happy to run through the tee and everything. To be honest, that was the best part. Just finally running through the tee with my shoulder pads on and fully dressed, ready to go.
I ask this every week. Ball walk or run through the tee?
It's running through the tee, but this season I didn't do it because I was a captain. So it was, honestly, I wish they kind of changed it. The way certain schools do, they let the captains do run through wherever they run through, then they come do it. I feel like I wish they kind of change it and do that because that was probably the best times of my college career, just running through the tee, and it was amazing.
When you ran through on senior day, what was that? Were you emotional then?
Yeah, I was a little emotional. Just had to take everything in. And
was it a quick run through, or did you feel like you'd been out there for 2 or 3 minutes?
Yeah, it felt like a long run through for some reason. I wasn't going fast either. I just was looking around, the whole time, man. I just couldn't believe it. Honestly, it felt fake, and it was amazing though. And everybody cheering me on, and just happy about it.
So, when you look back 15, 20 years from now on your career here, what are you gonna remember most?
My team. This team right here, how great we did, everything we've been through, how many people that doubt us, and, we bounced back, I'm going to remember everybody, the whole staff.
We'll get through championship weekend this weekend, and Tennessee will find out where they're going bowling. It could be the Orange Bowl, it could be the Sugar Bowl. Playing in a big bowl like that, how fired up do you get to get in that? And do you have a preference?
I don't, but them two, them big bowls, the Orange Bowl, Sugar Bowl, just a blessing to play either one. We going to Vandy game, Coach G was make it known that how big is they call it the New Year's Six Bowl.
Yep.
He was telling it's a night and day difference from what we played in last year, and he was telling us, he said, take care of business here. This weekend, and you could go to New Year's Six. And, after the game, he told us, he said, now we talking, now we're going to New Year's Six. So,
how much did you all hear all the outside noise after the South Carolina game of divided locker room and all that stuff that was out there? And was Saturday's game against Vanderbilt a way to kind of quieten all that?
Oh, yeah, we heard a lot of it. Even if you're not on social media, you're going to hear it. I literally was not on social media, and everywhere I go, family calling me, checking up on me. Somebody got to bring up the game, and walking around, you hear it. And
what's the craziest rumor you heard during that time?
The culture. That's the craziest one. People thinking that the culture of the team is just ruined, and I think that's kind of funny. Just they take one game and just based off the whole season. Start of the season, the first 6 games, everyone's saying that coach is there, but one game, everyone just, bash you. And that's one thing my dad told me. You're doing good. Everybody, love you. You're doing bad, that's how it's going to be. So, just always keep a straight face. But after that game, we really quieted a lot of people, and it was amazing. Nobody else said anything, but I feel like they feel like the coach is there. It's great. So, which
is why I go back to the quote I gave to Cooper and Darnell a couple weeks ago. Never as good as it seems, never as bad as it seems.
That's one thing Coach G says all the time. He said, "You never good as people make you to be. You never bad. You always in the middle. You always somewhere in the middle. So just always remember that. Don't never smell your butt too much."
In the Florida game, you made 4 tackles, career high in quarterback hurries. You got to Anthony Richardson there late. Forced him into that throw and gets picked off there at the end. On that play, what's going through your mind? Because there you were up 15 just a few minutes ago, and all of a sudden we're coming down to a throw to the end zone.
What was going through my mind, I'm just going to tell you, it was a post somebody made and said, I'm not going to say Tennessee going to beat Florida because, they always figure out somehow to screw it up.
Yep.
So we was going back on the field, and all I would think was that person probably was right. We didn't let them came back, and, I said, what, I'm going to go ahead and kill that right now. So I just got off the ball, all that going through my head. And thinking, I said I could not let him get a perfect throw off. So I had to do what I did. So honestly, that was really motivation. Just pushed me to go harder.
What was that run of Florida, LSU, Bama like?
3 of the biggest games of our lives, and those 3 of the biggest games this whole season. Playing Florida, then LSU, and LSU. With a quarterback like that, then going to play Bama, with Bryce Young and things like that.
How hard was he?
He was hard. He was hard playing last year.
He guy's unreal, isn't he?
He was like, he's so shifty. He could move in space, like smart. He know when
Keeps
to
his
let the
eyes
ball
up
go.
the field.
He does. Like he could tell when somebody's coming, like right there. Like he just, and that's why he's the type of quarterback that he is.
Toughest guy to tackle you've won against?
The quarterback wise,
Yeah.
yes, it really is. Last year, I think I missed a good about 3 sacks just because like he had duck, shifty, and those be the worst ones when you just, they about got him by the jersey and he just escaped and scored. So
Non-quarterback, toughest guy you've won against, tried to tackle?
Bama running back?
Jameer Gibbs.
Yeah, he was pretty solid running back. I didn't know he was that fast, honestly. He was pretty hard just because like his explosiveness when he take off and stuff like that.
So we had Jalen on about 3 weeks ago, and I said, how hard is it coming from South Carolina when you don't have a pro team to cheer for? I think he was a Saints fan for football, Boston Celtics fan for basketball. Were you a particular fan of any pro teams growing up?
Not for real, not too much. My dad, he was a big Cowboys fan. I probably, root for them just because, but I didn't really have one like that. I like the Lakers as in basketball. College team, I actually didn't go for no team in South Carolina. I liked Oregon.
You like the jerseys?
Yeah, that way it was. I was younger and I really liked their jerseys, but yeah.
You like the blacks or the grays better for Tennessee this year?
Them grays, like when you put the grays on, you don't have to do nothing. You just could put it on. That's what I like about it. The blacks, they was my favorite, but I love them smoky grays.
Should they retire the orange helmets?
I like the orange helmets. I do. You can't wear it with that much stuff. Like honestly, we wore it. Second to the last game of the season. Like, you really just saved them helmets, But I don't know, they could do what they want with them.
Any pregame superstitions or routines?
I just be calm, relax. I don't like too much jumping up. I don't like too much hypeness. I like to really relax and just think, and visualize myself just making plays, just think, the whole time, man. That's what I like to do, just relax.
A lot of players, when they've played at Tennessee over the years, they've gotten to know the support staff, Max, Hawk, Frage, out of the equipment staff. I mean, film crew, whatever. Anybody like that you've gotten, to know pretty well during your time here that's not an on-the-field person that most people think about?
I said my therapist, Michaela, I got to know her pretty well, and, it was great. I wanted to talk to somebody. I didn't know who to go to. Like, at that moment, I really didn't, I was new, so I didn't know that we even had that till that spring. Geronimo told me about her, and I said, you go talk to somebody if you got a lot on your mind. So that's what I did.
Gotcha. Coolest place you've traveled to?
Just in my life?
Yeah,
Africa, Rwanda. It was really the trip is a long trip, but it was really nice. Going there. That in Europe, we went to Amsterdam. It was really nice, actually.
What's that plane ride like?
It was terrible. Well, the first flight was terrible because they had me in the middle seat and I couldn't move. And it was a girl next to me, really small. I was just hoping she would have switched with me, and she didn't want to. So I'm just in there like this and trying to eat for 8 hours. And it's 2 8-hour flights. Just sitting on the plane like that. That first flight was terrible, but the second one I had an edge seat, so I could have spread my legs a little bit.
I can't imagine Big O on the plane to Rwanda. I mean, he is Big O.
Yeah, they had him. They had to put him in like one of them other
emergency exit aisles.
Nah,
more leg room.
Yeah, I think it was one of them. Yeah, I think it was like near the restroom, like in the middle. But it was like him and Josiah James. They had to do him the same way because they had him in the middle one at first, and then they had to move him because he was too tall.
You know where you go train for the NFL draft yet?
No, sir, I don't.
I guess what's your goal over the next few months once you get past the bowl game as you prepare for the NFL draft? What do you want to get accomplished?
Just my technique and, train the best I can, and just, every event that's in the draft, the combine, I want to be the best at it. And I want to do everything I can, and whatever they say they need me to do, I'm going to do it just to be the best at it.
What former Vols have you picked the brain of? Are there any, like, defensive guys that you've picked the brain of since you've been here?
I talked to Al Wilson a lot. It's his mindset. I didn't really, pick his brain too much, but what's his name?
Leonard Little.
I talked to him actually after the South Carolina game last year. We talked for a good 20 minutes, and he was just telling me, just keep at it. Just telling me I'm kind of like him. Speed and stuff like that. But yeah.
Is it Tyler and Big O? I mean, if you're calling to hang out with somebody, is it those two?
Oh yeah, definitely. I pull up on Big O. Hang out with Tyler.
What's hangout consist of? Going to eat?
Yeah,
playing Madden. What are we talking about?
Yeah, probably go eat, play Madden. Chill, just talk. Look at the game, watch the game, and stuff like that. Just stuff like that.
How much time do you spend in the film room?
When I have quality time like off, I try my best to get film time in because I don't try to overdo it just because I be stressed a lot and stuff like that. But when I get time for sure, I definitely go in there.
It feels like you've kind of gotten to your feels thinking about wrapping up your time here and what it's meant to you, last run through the tee and all that. How much are you soaking up, like going to class? I mean, I'm not, trust me. When I was in my last semester, I was ready to be done too. But like going to class, being around your classmates, not just your teammates, your classmates, being in practice, going to the trainer room to get some treatment in, going to the hang out with Coach G. Do you kind of soak all those moments up?
Oh yeah, I definitely do. And one of the worst parts is just I keep imagining one of these is gonna be the last day. When I see things now, I just see it as like I'm about to be gone, and might don't be back for a while. I know I gotta come back for pro day and stuff like that, but as in really being down here, I'm not gonna be down here that often. Just the friends and the vibes and everything. I feel like just trying to soak everything in. Trying to enjoy all my teammates, joke around all the time. Have fun, not be so serious about everything, relax, and just I feel like this is the moment where I need to enjoy everyone's company.
Do you see yourself when playing career is over with, coming back to Knoxville a lot?
Oh yeah. I want to be one of the guys to just come back and motivate the guys. How a lot of the guys do. You got Lante came back, Velas. I want to do that. I like to come back and see my my youngins, my young guys. Doing their thing.
Did you just call them youngins?
Yeah, I call them my youngins. It do sound kind of old.
Do they call you Papaw?
No. It's just
old man.
It's a slang.
What they call you?
Nah, they do call me old though. But yeah, but I just call them my youngin.
Who's most like you on this team? It don't even have to be your position. It can be like mindset, work ethic.
Josh Joseph. He definitely just like me. Just mindset, speed, edge rusher. His mindset, I like it. He actually is my little brother. As in, I had to, bring him in. Each person get like a little brother. He was my little brother, and the first time I met him, he trying to learn. We went in the film room actually and watched film, and he's just trying to get better.
Best advice you've been given by Coach Garner is what? Or Coach Heupel?
Cherish these moments. Take advantage of it, the opportunity. He always told us, one day we're not gonna have all of this. I go to therapist, it's free. Go see Dr. Klink, it's free. And he said one day it's not gonna be like everything just so easy and given to you. And he said you're gonna be in the real world, so take advantage of everything you have, the resources and everything. That's the best advice because he's right. Right now, take advantage of seeing somebody if you need to. Getting, work done on you. It's all that little things, talking to all these different people to set yourself up for when you go in the real world and you might don't have that, so, yeah.
What would you tell your younger self? The kid that left high school with no offers and the kid that left high school, that was headed for, the Dollar General store. What would you tell that kid?
Keep at it and don't give up. I learned a lot of lessons, when I moved out and got in the real world. I actually did. I feel like that's why I actually came back to school. Just the real world, it's so hard and it's not fun. When you don't have a actual goal, something that you're reaching for. And I didn't have that. I didn't know what I was doing. So I just tell myself, don't quit. Just a marathon. It takes time.
Well, the marathon is not quite over. He's got just a little bit left in the race. that will conclude with Tennessee's bowl appearance, whether it's in the Orange Bowl against the Clemson, a Sugar Bowl versus a TCU or Kansas State. Byron Young, we appreciate your time, man. We appreciate you kind of going more in depth and letting the Tennessee fans get to understand number 6 in orange.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all having me.
Thank you.